Hi guys, welcome to the channel that inspires to greatness. And if this is your first time on this channel, I go by the name Kinenry A. Francis, a final year oil and gas master student in Russia, a CFD simulation expert. All right, today I just want us to talk about something vital, something important, something that is of great concern to a lot of us, to a lot of people. But before I proceed, I just want to ask a simple question, and I need your answers in the comment section below. Will you sit in the car where the emotions of the driver is being used, or you sit in the car where the logic or the brain or the mind of the driver is being used? I repeat, will you sit in the car where the emotions of the driver is being used, or you sit in the car where the mind or the brain of the driver is being used? Put your answers in the comment section below. As human beings, there are two powerful tools that we can do without. These tools play a major roles in our lives, and these tools are emotions and logic. Emotions are very powerful tools. They make us human beings. Without emotions, at times, we are not considered as human beings. We are considered as dead beings. Logic and emotions are always in constant battle. There is always a battle between emotions and logic. And the battle is which one dominates or which one wins. And emotions always try to win the battle. Emotions always try to dominate. And what emotion does is it clouds your sense of reasoning. It tries to suppress your reasoning ability. It makes you not to think well. And the problem of many of us is we don't know how to use these tools. Anyone that is able to use these tools correctly is a very powerful human being, or is a very powerful person. We don't know when we are supposed to apply emotions, and we don't know when we are supposed to apply logic. So we tend to misplace the two. And this is a major problem to most of us. And bear with me that there is nothing great, there is nothing lasting, there is nothing important that can or has ever been built on emotions. I repeat, there is nothing great, there is nothing important or lasting that has ever been built on emotions. Every lasting thing or every great house is being built on three foundational keys. And these keys are wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. Emotions is never or was never mentioned in these three foundational keys. And one of these great things is our relationship with another fellow or another human being. We don't build relationship with another human being through emotions or based on our feelings. There can't be a lasting relationship with another fellow based on emotions. It will never work. But lasting relationship can only be built with another fellow through knowledge, through the information that we have about that person. And anyone that tries to build a relationship with another fellow or with the opposite sex through emotions or feelings get hurt or disappointed. And what most people don't know is emotions begins to suppress or begins to diminish anytime they encounter reality. Or if I know the attitude or the character of someone, I will know how to relate with that person. Not through my emotions, but through the knowledge that I have about that person. Because human being changes. But if I have adequate information or knowledge about you, I don't get bothered or I don't get disappointed when you change, because I know that this is how the person is. Now, the reason why most of our relationships don't work is that we tend to let our emotions lead rather than allowing our logic lead. You see, when you meet someone for the first time and you are interested in the person, We don't begin first by developing feelings, or we don't allow our emotions to start. What you need to do is to suppress your emotion, is to suppress your feelings, and let your logic dominate or win. Now, the moment you allow your emotions to suppress or diminish, and allowing your logic to lead, you begin to have enough information or knowledge about the person, the character of the person, the weakness of the person, the flaws of the person, the attitude of the person, the way the person thinks, the way the person acts. Deep information about the person begins to pop up. But if you allow your emotions to lead first, it's going to cloud your sense of reasoning. Therefore, the vital information that you're supposed to know, the realities that you're supposed to know surrounding that person is blocked. Emotions has limits. Emotions are just reactions going on in our system. They have limits. Now, after I've gotten enough information about the person, that, okay, I've come to conclusion that this is how the person is. There is nothing I can do about the person. I can't change the person. I can't change the way he thinks or she thinks. I can't change his psychological makeups because I'm not God. Then you can boldly decide whether to move on with the person or not. Move on with the person or not. Now, after you've taken that decision to move on with the person, then naturally, any feeling that you have for the person begins to show, and that feeling becomes genuine feeling. It's not faked. Because you've accepted the person the way he or she is. You've seen her or you've seen him up to the level of his or her weakness. You have now known or discovered that she talks too much. She acts in this manner. She gets angry quickly. So you don't get disappointed if something happens after your decisions. But if you don't know all these things and you allow your emotions to lead, then you become hurt or disappointed or back off from the relationship. You see, God loves us genuinely because of the information that he has about us or he knows about us. These are people that will ask for forgiveness today and tomorrow go and sin. These are people that I can relate with them based on my emotions or through my emotions because I'll get hurt. I'll get disappointed in creating them. But because he knew us, that we are weak, we have flaws, we act in this manner, he has accepted us the way we are. That's what we call genuine love. So won't you agree with me that your first relationship didn't work? The second also didn't work. Or the third probably didn't work because you've allowed your emotions to lead rather than letting your logic lead. Why won't you take time to ask the necessary questions, to know the little things about the opposite sex? Most of us spend 1/4 of our life in school learning to have a career, but we tend to ignore the necessary information or knowledge about the opposite sex that we are going to live with for the rest of our lives. Relationship is a school on its own. It's a whole knowledge on its own. There are a lot of books that have talked about the opposite sex, how they think, how they behave, how they act. Why don't you take the time to read about them before going into any relationship? Or you think it's just about the feeling that you have, that funny feeling the sweet ways. No, that's not a relationship. It's education on its own. So love is not that feeling that you have for that person when you have no information about the person. Love becomes genuine, or the feelings become genuine when you have information about the person. And despite the information, you've decided, to move with that person. That's what we call genuine love. Despite all his weaknesses or her weaknesses, the flaws, the shortcomings, you have agreed or you have decided to move with the person. That's what we call genuine love. That's genuine love. So when you meet someone for the first time, try to suppress your emotions and let your logic glitch. Have the adequate information. Then from there, you can then decide if you're supposed to move with the person or not. Because the moment you allow your emotions to lead and begins to encounter realities, it dies off. And that becomes the end of the relationship. That's why you hear people saying, I don't feel anything for him anymore. The kind of feeling that I have, the kind of love that I have for him or her, is no more. Because reality is beginning to pop up. You see, at times, what you know is better than what you feel. At times, what you know is better than what you feel. If I know that this is how someone is, I'll know the kind of feeling that I have for that person. We don't tend to have feelings for people when we don't have any information or we don't know the person. That's not genuine love. Genuine love is when you have accepted the person the way he is, based on information that you've gotten about that person. That's what we call genuine love. Think about it. If you like this video, share it with other people, Like the video, comment on the video, and share. Subscribe to be part of this family, because we have a lot of goodies for you. Thanks for watching. And until we meet again, have a blast.